Thanks for joining us. We've seen a statement from Welsh Government saying that Wales is going to go down a different route on assets of community value than England. They seem to be suggesting that they'll do a Welsh version of it in the next Assembly. What's your views on that position?
Well, I've no issue with developing Welsh solutions for problems that we have in Wales. Of course, these kinds of issues aren't unique to Wales, and I think the key here for me is expediency, because we are in an era of cuts. We are in a situation where local government, for example, will be offloading a lot of its estate, I'd imagine, over the next few years. Many of those buildings will be important to the local communities, will be assets for those communities, and I think that it's only right that those communities should be empowered to have a stronger say in the future of those communities. But regrettably, of course, the Minister's decision now means that they won't have that strengthened voice for at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 years.
And are there specific buildings or specific assets that you feel are under threat immediately within that 2 or 3 year period that would be lost?
Well, certainly we can look at the more mundane type of building in terms of leisure centres and community centres and those types of traditional community facilities, which certainly the public sector would, I'd imagine, be keen to offload over the coming years, given the tight financial squeeze that they're currently facing. But I live in a rural community, and I know that local pubs, for example, very often remain the last hub in the village where the community can actually come together. And when those pubs, as we know, are struggling and closing, I think, at the rate of about 2 a week across the UK at the moment, then those are assets that are being lost, and it's a drip effect really, and it's running down those types of hubs in communities where people can come together, socialise and exist as a community and interact, if you like. So losing the opportunity now to protect some of those assets is regrettable. Even more so, of course, when we're seeing examples across the border in England of pubs being afforded this status, which gives the community that stronger voice in the future of those buildings. Even large, iconic stadia, football stadia, such as St James's Park in Newcastle. It can be anything really, and that's one of the strengths of it, is that the local community decides and dictates what those assets are. And having that opportunity, that breathing space, that 6-week window where community can express their wish to take possession of an asset, and then to have an additional 6 months then to get their act together, in a sense, so that they can actually compete for it, still on the open market at the end of the 6 months. At least it gives that community that chance to maybe salvage something that's very, very important to them.
So what would you like to see happen now?
Well, I think one easy, expedient answer would be for the Minister to adopt the localism bill, or the relevant aspects of the localism bill in Wales now, for the time being, whilst she develops an alternative for Wales. So at least then we have that level of protection in the interim, because if not, then I fear, as we all know with the squeeze on public funding, that the next 2 or 3 years are probably going to be the most crucial, because if we can get through that, then maybe things will turn the corner, things might improve. But it's now that we need the action, and not jam tomorrow.